Okay, in the last class, so am I audible? Hello? Yes. Fine. So in the last class, we have discussed about a single scenario in which we try to sort the items in the shopping site, that is automationpractice.com. And we have tried to sort the elements or the items. Then you have seen that the items are in the increasing order of their values, right, of their prices. So we have seen that scenario and we have automated that. So we have taken the example of XPath and I've seen how XPath was useful for us in that scenario. So today I'm going to discuss about another scenario. So today also we're going to discuss about XPaths. So before that I'm going to set up this environment. Right now this code is not going to execute because the WebDriver.GecoDriver or WebDriver.IE because is not going to help here because it's a Mac system, it doesn't have Internet Explorer. So over here I cannot run the executable files as well, right? So what I can do is I can set the Gecko driver path and the Chrome driver path without this exe extensions. And one more thing that I need to do, I need to keep these two files in the same directory that I am working right now. Okay, this is the project folder, and I need to have those two executable files, Gecko driver and Chrome driver, in the same directory as this one. So I'm going to copy these files. So I have the Gecko driver over here. I have copied that and I'm going to paste it over here. Done. So Gecko driver, one more thing we need to consider is the permission, which is a problem in Linux and Macintosh systems. We don't have the execute permission by default, we need to give them. So once that is done, okay, now the Gecko driver is ready and we are going to use the Firefox driver. I am not going to test with Chrome right now. So let's run this code and see that the code is working properly. Then we can go to the next scenario. I'm going to right click, run as a Java application. So let's see how it is behaving. Okay, it has opened up the Firefox browser. Yes, and it has navigated to the page. That's fine. And I'm going to talk about the next scenario. Fine. So I'm going to go to this URL. Okay, that's great. Firebug is also enabled. Okay, yesterday I told you to, like, we have already seen a way to sort the elements, right? Today we are going to use another scenario in which I am going to basically filter out some of the elements which do not belong to a category. Say for example, when I go to this link, women link, I am getting a list of elements, a list of items, right? These are the items. And you can see there is this color which is present just below each of these items, right? This is the color, yellow or blue, I don't know what the color is, but there are certain colors which are like which specify the item is of a specific color. On the left hand side we can see that there are multiple colors available. So if we select yellow color, if we click on this, then this page is going to be shuffled and only the items which are having red yellow color are going to be displayed, right? So let's look at this. No, I have not clicked it properly. Let's click it again. Yes, fine. Now this now you can see there were around 7 elements, right? Now only 3 elements are present, and in all the elements there is this yellow icon present, right? All these elements are having yellow icon. With the help of Selenium or Java, we can never understand what is the color, right? We cannot say what type of color. We can just understand it is by looking at that. But when it comes about coding, and if you are not able to understand the color from code, so we need to look at some other information which are very much similar, like which is going to tell us this is the yellow color. Maybe the class is having yellow, or there is some other attribute which is actually yellow, which is having the text yellow. So we're going to focus on that. So what am I going to do now is I'm going to inspect the same way like I did in last class. I need to basically check what are the elements which are present in the page. So let me tell you this like the approach which I'm going to take. First I'm going to navigate to the URL, then I'm going to click on this women link. Fine. So once I have clicked on that, then I'm going to click on this icon, yellow icon, right? So how to click on that? I need to, okay, that icon is deselected now, so I need to click on this icon. Okay, perfect. So after coming to women link, I am going to go to our Firepath or Firebug. Then I am going to inspect the yellow icon. Now this page is having items from all other categories as well, not just from yellow. So I am going to search for that element. So let's remove this and let's inspect the yellow icon. I need to click on this link or on this link. Anything is possible. So let's click on this link, because if you look at the XPath which is displayed on the bottom, okay, I'll show you this one. Okay, now this is something on which I can click and this is going to be filtered. Otherwise I can click on this icon also, and at the same time this is also going to put the same effect. So if you look at the XPath, when I am having the cursor on this yellow icon, you can see the XPath is very simple. It is saying the ID is going to be layered ID attribute group 16. But when I want to click on this link, it is having some more thing. It is having that thing plus layered attribute group 3 plus li7 plus label plus a. So it seems to be simple. So if you look at the other icons, they are different group. This is 16, this is 14, this is 15. So likewise, we have many icons and many different ID attributes. So let's do one thing, let's focus on this icon. So we are going to click on this icon, okay? And you can see this XPath is very simple. Either we can go with the XPath or we can go with this attribute by.id, and ID value is layered ID attribute group 16. So I think this is clear how we can click on this icon. So anyone having any doubt? Seems okay, you don't have any doubt. Okay, so after navigating to this page, automation practice, I'm going to click on the women link. So to do that, I'm going to go back to my last class and copy that element. This is the women element and I've clicked on that. Fine, so I'm going to copy paste that code. That is done. So once I am on this page, then I'm going to click on this icon. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to find web element yellow icon, that is fine, equals to driver dot find element, and I'm going to use by dot id. I can use the id. So if you remember, I have always told you the first priority you should give to the id. If that id is never used anywhere else, if that id is very much unique, you should go with the id, and this id is supposed to be unique in a page. A web page that is having an for example an entire HTML content, it cannot have multiple elements with the same id. Okay, so it is better to use the id first, and it is the fastest way of finding the element using Selenium. So what am I going to do is, I have seen that this element is actually having a unique id, and if you look at this XPath, it says that find me all the elements, okay, find me all the elements in the page which is having the id layered id attribute 16, and you can see at the bottom it is just having one matching node. That means this id is unique. So what I can do is I can copy the entire text and use it as an XPath, or I can copy just the id and use it as an id selector. So I'm going to copy this thing, copy, and I'm going to go back to my code. Over here I can paste it. Fine. So I'm finding that element. Let's click on that element so that the items on the page are going to be shuffled and only the yellow colored items are going to be displayed. Okay. So I'm going to click yellow icon dot click. Now I'm going to wait for around 5 seconds. All of you clear? Or any complexity, any difficult in this page? This is very straightforward. Sanya, is it okay? Sanya, are you there? Okay, so is it okay for you, or do you have any doubt? It is fine? Abhinas? Okay. Okay, let's start the code. Okay, a new Firefox window is opened and it is going to navigate to the first page. Yeah, you can see only the yellow icons were present. So what am I going to do next is, after clicking on that element, see, this is very fast, right? I cannot see what is happening, so I need to take a screenshot. After waiting for 5 seconds, I need to take a screenshot, then I need to verify if actually it has taken it has performed properly or not. To do that, I'm going to copy the code of screenshot over here. You can find this. Okay, and I'm going to paste it after waiting for 5 seconds. This seems very simple. Get screenshot as file, and I'm going to call it filtered underscore yellow dot png. That's fine. So let's save this code and run it again.
Are you recording this?
Yes, sir, I'm recording this. Don't worry.
Or
Okay, now it is taking the screenshot, and we are going to find the screenshot if actually this thing happened or not. So you can see on this, I have not given any path to this file. So this file is going to be relative to my project. Okay, so I'm going to refresh the project contents, right click and click on refresh. Filtered yellow.png is displayed. Fine. So this is the page. You can see all the items are having at least this yellow color, right? So none of these items are having any icon. Okay, so now the case is that we're going to check if all the items that are displayed on the page are actually having this yellow color or not. Okay, that is the positive way of thinking. So what we're going to do, we're going to loop across item 1, item 2 and item 3. Okay, all the 3 items, and we're going to check the colors they're having, if at least one of the color is yellow or not. Or we can search it like this. We're going to search for all the 3 items. Okay, we're going to loop across all the 3 items, then we're going to loop across the colors they're having. If one of the color is yellow, then it is passing. Otherwise, if one of such elements is found which is having none of the colors as yellow, then we're going to fail the test case. Okay, so before that, what we need is, we need to find these colors, right? For each item, for each of these items, we need to find the colors which are present. Okay, for that we're going to use XPath, right? So let's see how we can find the XPath. So I'm going to open this Firefox. Okay, now I'm going to filter the items, click on yellow. Now the items are filtered. So what I'm going to do now is, I'm going to check what this yellow color is actually having. So I'm going to inspect the elements. First, if I try to go inside, you can see the page changes. So maybe there is a problem. I may not find the element after that. Okay, anyways, let's point on this element first. That is the first element, and let's copy this XPath. Okay, that is the same approach which I have taken all the time. Copy, and I'm going to paste it in a notepad. Paste, this is the first element, right? Okay, let's do the same thing for the second element, and copy this XPath. This is for the second element. So it seems like the third element is going to have this li as 3. Perfect. So if I want all the 3 items in a single sort, in a single XPath, so I'm going to remove this index part, right? So I'm going to copy just this much amount of data, this much amount of this XPath, and I'm going to test that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to paste it over here and hit enter. You can see at the bottom, it says that 3 matching nodes are found, right? So if you look at this, we can see all the 3 items are selected, highlighted by default. This highlighting is done by Firebug with the help of Firepath. Okay, so with this XPath, I can find all the 3 elements. Now this XPath is going to be the relative XPath. Okay, for all the 3 items. All 3 items. If there were around 10 items present, no issues. This XPath is going to find us all the 10 items, or even if it's 20, 100, all the items are going to be found out with this relative XPath. Okay, so let's do one thing. Let's go ahead and search for this specific icon which are displayed. So how am I going to do that? I'm going to do that with the help of Firepath. Let's scroll it a little bit up. Fine. So I'm going to first focus on a single item. Okay, so what I have done, I have just given the index 1, so it is going to find me the first element, right? So let's do one thing. So these are the different icons which are present. So I'm going to go inside this element and focus on the next div. So this div is actually containing the item, okay, somewhere in between. So if I look at this div, it is containing that color. It is containing many more things, but it is containing these icons as well. So what I need to do, I need to go inside the div, enter. So when I did that, you can see a little more data is selected, like it is shrinking down. So I'm going close towards that icon. So within that div, again there are multiple things present. There are 3 divisions. Division 1, which displays just the image. So if I bring it a little down, you can see this division is containing basically the image. Okay, second division, it is containing all other details about that product. You can see the highlighting part. So if I move it up, it is not displaying, but the second, this is displaying. So I'm focusing on the next div 1, 2, div 2. So I need to make the necessary changes, /div and give the array 2. Okay, so let's click on enter, and you can see only this much is selected and this part is left. Okay, this part is removed. So we are going even more closer to the element, right? So now there are even more elements present over here, but I need to focus just on these icons. So what am I going to do now? Let's go a little below. Okay, now this div is containing everything. I need to focus on the icon part. So let's expand this div. This is the first edge which is containing the details. I don't need that. Let's go to the next part. This is a division which is containing the price, which we have used already in the last example. That was the div 1. Now let's go to the next div. This div is something which we cannot see, right? It's not visible right now. Let's go to the next div. Yes, this is the div, that is div 1, 2 and 3. This is the div 3, which is basically containing the colors. Okay, color list container. So this div can be represented by div arrow 3. Fine, right? Otherwise, if I don't want to give these indexes, I can do it in a different way with the help of the selectors. See, all these divs, they're containing a specific class type. This is containing content price, button container, and this class is color list container. Let's copy this part. And I know that this is not the third division. This is going to be a div with the @class, or the attribute class value equals to this thing. See, now also we have found the element, right? So now I'm not going to go like this. I'm going to remove all these parts. So this is the first element. Within the first element, there are multiple divs present. and within that there are multiple div 2 elements also I'm going. So what am I going to do now is I'm going to find a relative division div which is having the class attribute caller list container. So I may not need all this information because it is going to navigate across all the elements and find a division which is having this class. So if I remove, so let's focus on this. This is the main item. Okay, until this we have seen this is the first element, right? Then we have tried entering the nested elements and we have reached the div that we want. But now we have found a relationship that this div is having a class caller list container. So I'm going to loop across all the elements within this li. I'm going to find all the elements. That's the reason why I have given two double slashes. Double slash. Okay. All the elements, which is actually a division element. Find me only the division element, which is having the class name @ class attribute value equals to caller list container. Now you have found, now this is a relative XPath which says that find me the first element and within that find all the elements, which is actually div, and just focus on the class part. If the class is caller list container, give me that element. Let's see how many elements are found. It says only one matching node. Okay, it says only one matching node, right? Are you getting it? Tell me if you have doubt. I'll try to do it again. Okay, this is for the first elements callers. So this is having all the colors. Similarly, let's focus on the second element. It seems that the second element, if you look at the top, the second element is having L2, Li2. So I can make it 2 and I'll have all the elements, all the colors of second elements. Let's copy this division, this entire XPath, right click, copy and go to this page and hit this. So I'm finding all the elements, all the colors of second item. So if I want all the items, all colors, so I can remove this index, right click, copy. Now you can see I have focused on, I have found 3 items and each of their colors. Are you guys there?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So how have I deduced, like how have I come to this XPath is very much important, because if you say within like if one of these elements is having a nested element, then we use this like single slash, right? That is the way we used to navigate across the XPath. But if I want to go to a specific element where the class is this value, like in SQL queries, where the class attribute is having this value, then I need to skip all the elements. That is the reason I have given two slashes, right? That's the reason I have given two slashes. Two slashes means find me all the elements. Within this li, find me all the elements and filter out the elements which are only divisions. Again filter out that element if that division is having the class value equal to color list container. Okay, so this is the way I can find out all the colors which are present, right? Now if I take this element to my Selenium code, I'm going to find 3 elements, and within the 3 elements again I'm going to find some more data. So let's do one thing. Let's first take this XPath. We're going to use, this is a single line comment, use this XPath to find all colors of all items displayed. So this list interface or this list collection I'm going to use all the time, right? You can see list is very much helpful. So this XPath is going to return me 3 items as I have clicked on the yellow icon. This is the yellow icons link. I have clicked on that and I'm going to get 3 items for this. I can use a for loop and do whatever I want. But before that, let's look at these icons, because some of the elements, some of the items are having more than one color. It is not compulsory that it is going to have the yellow color. But before putting our logic, we need to know what is the HTML code for this yellow color, what is the HTML code for this blue color, right? So that is most important thing. So I need to first see what type of color is this. If this is a black color, it's fine, I don't need that. If it is a yellow color, then I need to consider it, right? So within this div, let's focus on a single element. Now this is pointing to all the three elements, you can see. This is pointing to all the three matching nodes, right? So if I want a single elements node, I can make the li as 1. So I'm going to point to a single element. So you can see one matching node. The first elements, all the colors are available. If I expand if I expand this, there is a ul, unordered list. Okay, within this div, there is this ul. Okay, if I go below that, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 LIs present, right? So within ul, there are 4 LIs present. So if I expand this, it is containing anchor, a id color underscore 22, color pick. Is there any information which says that this is black? Let's go ahead and href is something, color, yes, href says his color equal to black. Now we have many information about this anchor, right? So how are we going to identify if one of these four elements is actually a yellow color? So let's see how the yellow color looks in the code. We're going to expand li2. li2 is an orange color. Okay, if I put my mouse on this, you can see the color 2 is getting highlighted automatically. If I put my mouse out, it goes. If I put my mouse on this, it gets highlighted. And we need the color, third color, that is a blue. You can see this is blue, and the fourth color is a yellow color. So see, the data is like hidden somewhere within that. We need to find this anchor, and we need to check if this anchor is actually having the href attributes value that is yellow or not. Okay, so what we are going to do now is we are going to loop across all these four LIs. Okay, now we are in this part. This XPath is giving us all the four colors. We need to get the four colors as well. So I need to go within this div that there is this ul. So I'll give this class ul. Now I'm focusing on the four colors. Now let's go even deeper. Then there are li. So if I want a single li, I can give the index 1. If I want the second li, I'll give the index 2. There are 4 li's present. If I remove these, I'm going to get all the 4 elements, right? And within that li, I'm having an anchor. If I give this, I'm going to get all the 4 anchor items. Okay. So what I'm going to do now, I'm not going to navigate to ul, then li2, then a. Rather than that, I'm going to find all the elements within this part. Okay, this is containing the entire color, all the 4 colors. I'm going to navigate and search for all the links which are present, all the anchors. So anyways, it is going to give me the 4 values, 4 matching nodes. So now I have found the 4 elements. This is the case for the first item. The second item is containing only 2 data. So if I change the li to second part, it is going to give me 2 results. You can see only 2 matching nodes are present because there are only 2 colors, and I need to check if both of these colors, at least one of these 2 colors is having the yellow data or not. If none of them is having yellow, then our test case is going to fail. Like this item is selected which is not having a yellow color, but I have clicked on the yellow link. Similarly, I am going to go to the third li, and here also I am finding 2 elements. Okay, 2 elements are present, and I need to search for all these items which having this yellow color. So how to do that? Now there are actually a lot of steps which we need to perform, but before that, let's divide this task into smaller parts. Till now I have clicked on the yellow link. Till now this is fine. What I need to do next is I need to find all these 4 colors, all these 3 items individual colors. So I'm going to remove this anchor part, and I'm going to get, okay, I need to remove this li. So I'm going to get the 3 colors. Let's copy this XPath. This is the XPath which I'm going to copy. Right click, copy. This is going to get all the 3 or 5 or 10 elements items which are present on the screen. So I'm going to use a list of web elements. All items callers equals to driver dot find element by dot. I'm going to use find elements because multiple elements are going to be found by dot XPath. Over here I'm going to pass the XPath information. So this is going to give me, okay, over here you can see some error. Just import the list from java.util. Java.util, not the java.awt part, but java.util. Now that is done. Now I'm going to get some data. So what am I going to get? I'm going to get L1, like item 1, item 2 and item 3 scholars. What I need to do next is a separate thing, but let's first loop across this 1, 2 and 3 items. I'm going to use a for each loop. This is the enhanced for loop, and each of the items or each of the entries, each of the data in this list is actually a web element. So I'm going to use web element each item callers in all item callers. Fine. Now when I'm within this loop, at any point of time I'm basically focusing on only one item. So over here, if I am having the first item, okay, if this is the first item, then the XPath would be similar to, if I'm focusing on the first item, this is the thing which I have received, but I need to go inside that element and find out all the anchors. So if you want to skip all these steps and find the anchor, then we need to search for all the nested elements and search an anchor. Now it has found out there are 4 different elements present, right? So how to do that? Now this anchor is something which is going to help us find the nested elements. What am I going to do now? I'm going to sys out, okay, I'm going to sys out all the elements which are present and are actually an anchor tag. Over here I'm having the focus on this each item callers. This is the element which I have the control on. Okay, so if I print that, it is going to print about this element, but if I want to go inside and see what are the different elements, I'm going to use a for XPath. So let's find the XPath. Now again, when I try to find this anchor, it is not a single element, it can be multiple elements. 4 matching nodes. Over here I'm going to find 2 nodes, over here also 2 nodes, right? So what am I going to do? I'm going to search for this XPath. Okay, so what I can do is I don't need to give the entire XPath. Rather than that, I have already reached till all these elements, then I need to just go one step down. What am I going to do now? I'm going to find the elements each item callers dot find elements by dot XPath. I'm going to give the XPath. Over here the XPath is /a. So I'm going to find all the elements within this element. So this element is pointing to the list of 4 colors. Now within that I need to find all the anchor elements. This is going to be the color which I want. And as I have used find elements, it is going to return me a web element list. That is a list of web element. Like let's call it all colors equal to. And after finding all the colors, I'm going to check what are the different colors. Web elements each color colon all colors. Over here I'm going to print the value for that color. Each color dot get attribute href. Let's run this code. and see what are the values which are getting displayed. Okay, there was some error in the code. That's the reason it has found all the anchors in the page. Okay, it's about like finding, it is finding all the anchors in the page. It has printed all the href parts. So we need to focus on the part which is just within the collar. So how to achieve that? Now this points to the one of the items, all colors. What we need next is okay, let's take the entire XPath. Let's find that using the driver, driver dot find elements by the XPath. This is the XPath. If we use this XPath, it's going to give us all the data. 8 matching nodes. Let's keep this part apart. Let's print okay, now for all the 3 items it has printed something. Over here it has printed this thing. This is actually the XPath which I have used, but I need to find the data within that element. Okay. let's take a for loop with index based value int index equal to 1, index less than all items colors dot size index plus plus. Okay, now when I'm on the first index, what am I going to use is driver dot find elements by dot XPath. And this is the XPath, but over here I'm going to point on the first item. So if you look at this much XPath, it is pointing to all the elements. If I want the first element, I will give this one. But this one is not constant, this is dynamic. First it is going to point on the first element, then the second element. So this value can be derived from the index. Okay. So now I'm printing the href value. Okay, let's run this code. Okay, now it has printed all the href values, and what we need is we need to check if for item 1 these 4 elements are present and it is having some of the value. Okay, it is having some of the href value, but the href value needs to be having yellow. If it is having yellow, then our test case would pass. Okay, so to do that we are going to check. Now this is printing the href value. This is going to be less than and equals to, because I am going to start from 1, 2 and I will stop at 3. Now this href value can be stored within a string href equal to, and I can check if if href dot contains.
Why you mentioned that boolean is yellow present equal to false?
Okay, I am assuming that all the 4 colors, so this XPath is going to give me one of the items all colors, right? This XPath is going to give me one of the items all 4 colors or all 3 colors, right? This index can be 1, 2 or 3. Based on that index value, this XPath is going to give me all the 2 or 3 colors of the single item. Now I am assuming that all the 3 colors, by default let's assume that none of the color is yellow. Okay, then I'll check all the 4 colors or all the 3 colors at any point of time. If I found that this color href is containing yellow, that means is yellow is going to be true. Okay, so by default I am taking that this yellow color is not present in all the 4 colors or all the 3 colors of the item, and I am going to check the href value of these colors. So I have taken the href value, I have printed that already. If you want, I can print it again. color href is, and this is the href value, right? So I am going to check if the href is containing yellow at the end, yellow at somewhere it is containing yellow, then I am going to make is yellow present equal to true. That means yellow is present, and once I have found that yellow color is present, I can break the inner for loop. Okay, suppose I am having 4 colors, black, red, yellow and green. Now all these 4 colors, first I am going to get black over here, and I am checking if href is containing yellow. Black is not containing yellow, no, it is not going to execute. Again this for loop is going to point to the red color. Red contains yellow, no. When it contains yellow, yellow contains yellow, it is true. So it is going to make it true and break the loop. I don't need to check the next color, that is green or something. I can stop there. So for first item, I have checked all the 4 colors that are present for the first item, and I found that there is a yellow color present. At the end of this loop, okay, when what happens for a single color, these are the conditions which I am checking for a single item, all the colors. After this loop is complete, okay, after this loop is complete, for a single item all the colors are checked, and I am going to check if is yellow present is still, if this is yellow present is still false. Okay, if this is still false, that means these 4 colors or the 3 colors or 2 colors of the single item, none of them is containing the yellow color. Then I can write that sys out item is not yellow. Okay, else
It's 11 o'clock.
I can write item is actually yellow. Okay, now this is it. It is going to complete the entire scenario, and you can look at this. There are these 2 parts in which I am first checking, I am getting all the 4 items, then I am looping across, or the 3 items, then I am looping across all the 3 items. I am not hard coded less than equal to 3, I am taking the size of the elements. If there are 3 elements, I am going to get a loop of 1, 2 and 3. If there are 5 elements present, I am going to get a loop of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And for each item, what I am doing, I am taking the item number, that is index 1 or 2. I am making this XPath, I am creating this dynamic XPath, and I am finding all the anchors present within that XPath. Then I am checking all the colors which are present. Taking one color at a time, I am checking if this color is actually containing the yellow part or not. If this is containing the yellow part, I am assuming that this item is having yellow color, let's accept it. Then I say if yellow is present, if it is not present, if yellow is still false, I am saying this item is not yellow, otherwise I will tell yes, this item is yellow. So let's run the code and check the output. It says item is yellow, and this is for a single item. I'll check if it has given the console output for all the items. This is the first item. It is having 4 colors. First color is black, it is not containing yellow. Second is orange, not yellow. Blue, not yellow. This is yellow. So the is yellow part is now true. So it is checking, it is true. So it is saying item is yellow. Similarly, for the second item, it is having color white and color yellow, and it is true. It says yes, item is yellow. Similarly, for the third item, green and yellow, it is yellow and it says item is yellow. Now I can make a change in the code. What change I can make? Now the requirement comes, okay, I need to check for a different color. Say for example, there are only one item present in the green part. Okay, so I need to check this one, and only one item is going to be displayed. And okay, didn't work out fine. It is not working. This site is not working properly. After clicking on these, I am going to click on the green color. Okay, only one item is present. I need to check if this item is actually having the green color or not. So before that, I need to click on this element. Let's click on that. It is having the ID layered attribute group 15. So this is the 15. Okay, and I can go below and this is going to be same. It is going to find the colors for all the items, and index is same. At the end, I am going to check for the href. If the href is containing green, then it is fine. So let's run the code. Only one item is displayed. It needs to check the 4 color. Yes, it has found. I have not changed the text, the display text. This is item is yellow. It is still saying item is yellow, but actually I am checking for the green color, and it has found that yes, the item was having the green color. And check over here to 16. Okay, and I need you guys to go through the code again, go through the video again, the way I'm trying to explain you how I am basically converting the XPath, how I'm going to reduce the XPath. So that is very much important. So just go through this video, and I know you'll still have lots of doubts. If you have some doubt which can be quickly covered, let me know. Otherwise, just go through this and we'll have a discussion in the next class more about XPath. Okay.